Chuck Schumer joins me now. Senator, thank you very much for being with us. We know how
Andrea.
busy you are. You were on the floor today calling. Well, hi, it's good to see you. First of all, how are you doing?
I'm okay. How are you, your family, everyone all right?
Good, good.
Good.
Everyone's fine, thank you. We are the lucky ones able to work from home. But you're not at home, and of course, you and other senators have been taking some chances in coming out and doing your jobs. You were on the floor calling for that additional $3 trillion House bill. Arguably, it has no chance of passage. This is not something that has been signed on by you, the Republicans, and others in the Senate, by Mnuchin. It's not a compromise deal. Why bring the House back and risk some danger for them to have the vote? I know this is a decision for the Speaker, but it seems symbolic. It seems like a pressure tactic. She said it's a bargaining position.
Well, let me say this, Andrea. First, the outline that the House had is both necessary and urgent. There are huge problems out there, as your show just acknowledged. Dr. Fauci said we could have such a serious problem when we come back. And in the proposal is what's needed. Our state and local governments are going to lay off tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of police and firefighters and bus drivers if we don't do something. If we don't do adequate testing, it's amazing that this administration is refusing to do a regime on testing. They want the country to open up. Every other country, as Dr. Emanuel said, that has done a good job, has had much more testing and much more contact tracing than us. And so there are so many things in this bill, and you say, well, why start with what is needed? It's what's needed. It's urgent. It's necessary. When the Republicans are pointing about what's wrong with it, they point to some small little thing that's 0.003% of the bill. And look at the last two COVID bills. COVID 3, COVID 3.5. Initially, Leader McConnell said what he's saying now. We don't need to do it our way or no way. But public pressure and public need on him and his Republican senators forced them to come around. And in fact, COVID 3 and COVID 3.5 had many more of the things that we Senate Democrats wanted than that the Republicans wanted. So there will be a huge amount of pressure from Republican governors and Republican senators, from business people, from police unions and fire unions, and so many others who are going to say we need this bill. So I believe that this is a very good place to be because it shows what the needs are. We didn't cut it in half to bargain against ourselves, but you will see the pressure on the Republicans is enormous. When Mitch McConnell says he doesn't see an immediate urgent need, what is he saying to the miles of cars that are waiting in food banks? People come out and are interviewed and say they've never been to a food bank before. What does he say to the hundreds of thousands of small businesses? They put their blood, sweat, and tears into building their business, and now they're closing down. What does he say to a family that might be kicked out of their house because they don't have rent? Or people who are losing their jobs? Of course it's urgent. And as Dr. Fauci said, and today, Jerome Powell, another non-politician, said that we need much more fiscal relief or we could risk the kind of thing that's the Great Depression. The Republican Party right now, from Donald Trump to Mitch McConnell, is sort of like Herbert Hoover. When the stock market crashed, Herbert Hoover said, we don't need to do anything, let the private sector work this out. And that caused, lengthened, and deepened the Great Depression. Let us hope that the public need and the public pressure will get the Republicans to understand what we need to do to get this country out of the greatest health and economic crisis we've had since the Depression.
I was going to point out it's not just Jay Powell and the Fed today. It's also Larry Hogan, Republican governor, and Andrew Cuomo together for the National Governors Association saying they need that state and local government
Andrea,
money.
what's appalling here? What's appalling? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah,
I was just going to say they don't believe in truth. That's the problem. There is truth. There are facts. Dr. Fauci talks about facts. They don't argue with him. They call him names. Donald Trump said 2 months ago, anyone who wants a test can get a test. A lie, a straight out and out lie. And they're still clinging to that thing when Donald Trump says we've accomplished what we need in testing. I mean, and the irony is this. If Donald Trump wants to open up the country again, and I understand that, so do most of us want to get the country opened up, you're going to need a far stronger testing regime so you can test everybody. Georgia, which opened up quickly, Governor Kemp, I read yesterday in the paper that in one shopping center, 92% of the people who usually show up didn't show up. If people don't believe they're safe, we are not going to get back. And testing and contact tracing is so important, and this administration ignores it, and it's hard to figure out why. Sorry.
No, that's all right. I was going to play a little bit of what Senator Murphy had to say to Dr. Redfield from the CDC yesterday at that hearing and get your reaction on the other side.
Sure.
We're reopening in Connecticut in 5 days, in 10 days. I mean, this guidance isn't going to be useful to us in 2 weeks. So is it this week? Is it next week? When are we going to get this expertise from the federal government?
I do anticipate this broader guidance, though, to be posted on the CDC website soon. I can't tell you soon, but I can tell you your state can reach out to CDC and we'll give guidance directly to anyone in your state on any circumstance that your state desires guidance from.
Soon isn't terribly helpful. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
He's on the money, Senator Murphy.
Schumer, are you concerned?
I asked on the floor today.
Are you concerned that the CDC, I know you lost the vote on the floor, but now going forward, are you concerned that the White House is censoring the public health information from the most important agency?
The White House has censured agency after agency. They've gotten their minions in Fox News and everywhere else to just personally and vitriolically attack people who tell the truth. But I'll tell you something. In this huge crisis, if you avoid the truth, you're going to make it worse. And you're going to make it worse for everybody, including, I would say, to the Republican Party and Donald Trump, for yourselves.
Now, before I let you go, I want to play a bit of what Leader McConnell had to say about former President Obama, because we've heard first from President Trump and now from Leader McConnell some surprising comments about a former president. Let's watch.
Well, I think President Obama should have kept his mouth shut. You know, we know he doesn't like much this administration is doing. That's understandable. But I think it's a little bit classless, frankly, to critique an administration that comes after you.
Well,
so
you know,
that was on Trump TV with Laura Trump, the daughter-in-law. But I just want to ask you what you think about the way President Obama is being described.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. He has been very restrained. And I want to say this, Andrea. Instead of doing what they're supposed to do, Senate Republicans, coming up with answers to the COVID crisis, having oversight hearings to find out why small business isn't getting the lending, why we're not testing, why the hospitals are still hurting and not getting the money that they need. Instead of having hearings and oversight on that, they're coming up with these ridiculous conspiracy theories on Obama. And Chairman Johnson wants to go after Biden and this Hunter Biden conspiracy theory, which came from the Russians of all people. This is amazing to me. What alternative universe do they live in? Spending their time on discredited conspiracy theories against Obama, against Biden, instead of dealing with the greatest crisis we've had in America in decades and decades and decades. What universe are they in? What is in their heads? They don't have to agree with me on everything that should be done about the crisis, but why aren't they talking about it instead of absurd, often Russian-generated conspiracy theories against their political enemies?
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.